Okay, ladies, I'm not gonna lie. I always thought I knew how to talk to men and I had four older brothers and I thought I knew all these things. I knew how all this stuff. Turns out, surprisingly, um, I didn't know really how to talk to men because I was always talking to them in two ways. One, thinking I was just like them. And so thinking I'm a man and I'm talking to men, which is not true. Or the other one is talking to them like they're women, which doesn't work. So how do we ask in the feminine and get what you want, right? Is that if you understand that men and women are completely different, that your goal in life is to understand yourself, which is an unreachable goal. And so understanding men is also something that's just not available to us because we aren't men. We don't think like men. We're different. And when we stop talking to men and asking for things like they're women, your whole world will really shift. So these simple things that I've learned from a lot of different books and people transformed how I talk to men, especially if I need something from them. And this isn't about lying or exaggerating or manipulating. Okay. So men focus on solutions and they are motivated when they feel needed. Men focus on solutions. Okay. Women are relational and intuitive. So women, yes, are focusing on solutions, but they're also focusing on taking care of everyone in the meantime. Okay. And men respond to asks the best when these following things are included in your ask. Okay. So if they feel respected, trusted, and needed, they will basically do anything for you. If they feel respected, trusted, and needed. Number two, if you're clear and direct, they respond very well because they're rational to clear and direct asks, not hints, not suggestions, not long stories about your neighbor and how her husband does something, and that's kind of how you're asking for something. Number three, you don't have hidden underlying motivations and or manipulation. So it's a test that if he does it, you're going to be nicer to him. They can feel that. Or if you're trying to get something in order to get something else, an underlying motivation, or see if he really loves you, right? They can feel that and they resist that. And four, if they feel respected, trusted, and needed. The same as the first. That's just very, very important. Now, this is from Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. Why I acknowledge people I learn from. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I try to. I always tell my clients and you guys, you can use whatever I teach you. I haven't invented anything. No one's invented anything. If you do use something from me, just say, hey, I learned this from Annie Levitt, right? Like, I don't care. It really doesn't bother me. But this is from John Gray, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. And it's about C words versus W words. So C words, when you use C words to ask for something from a man, like can you or could you, it just run up against a lot of obstacles. W words are the winning words. Okay. Will you and would you? Because of their rational brain. When you say, can you take out the trash? They answer, yes, I can. I know how to. It's just like that school teacher where you're like, can I go to the bathroom? And they say, I don't know. Can you? Just think that's actually automatically happening in your husband's head or any man for that matter. And when you ask, could you pick up the kids after this thing? They think, I could. Yes. You didn't say what time. Like it's just up in the air. And to their rational brain, sometimes C words can implicate a lack of trust in their ability. They either think it's just a simple question, but not a direct request that they can please you. And this is for, I use the W words. I really try and catch myself every time I'm talking to a man. So the power of W words, you'll get what you want and he'll feel trusted. So it's a win-win. When you use a W word, will you or would you? That's a conscious choice where they can say yes or no. They hear, and it's a direct ask. They feel trusted and they know they can do it and please you. I'm just telling you, will and would using that instead of can and could is total game changer. And these are some of my favorite authors about this stuff. A woman's greatest strength in communicating with a man is her ability to make him feel respected and capable. When we talk about those hidden motivations, when we're asking for things, how many times have you asked for something from your spouse and you're thinking about the past and you're thinking about the past times they didn't do what you wanted? And so you're already bitter when you're asking. They can feel that. When you can be delusional and just get in the present moment and be like, of course he does what I ask. Of course, these things are amazing. And you ask from that place and they feel trusted and needed and valued. It works out really, really well for everyone involved. When you understand how men need direct and concise asks, you both are going to thrive. Okay, and it builds a way stronger bond. In dance class, you can be looking at a few other dancers and you can look at someone really struggling with fast jumps. They're just not quick. They're not high. They're just not doing a great job. And you could judge them based on that and be like, man, they can't do potato leg row. They can't do any of this fast stuff. Now you put them in adagio and really slow and they're amazing. There's different types of abilities and men have different abilities than women do. And when we learn how to stop, I could take that adagio dancer and just drill into her day after day. You have to be faster, you have to be sharper. Or I could just be okay that those are not her strengths and give her more opportunities to do adagio. So if I'm setting a ballet and I have a solo and I have a long, slow solo, I'm going to give it to the person who's really good at the long and slow. And if I have a short jumping piece, I'm going to give it to the girl who's really fast and quick and can jump. That's the same thing as your relationship. Give things men that they're good at doing, and you stay in your lane and do what you, and everyone wins. And everyone wins and gets a stronger bond. Okay, clear and concise. A lot of us don't know how to do this. Why don't we do it? Because you're afraid. This is the real deeper nugget of why we don't ask for what we want. Because what if you really get vulnerable and you ask for what you want and he says no, or you don't get it from God? I don't know why I threw that in there, but I did. But to be clear and concise, okay? Your clarity on what you're asking for is your strength. So take some time. Don't just spew out of your mouth everything you're thinking about him doing. And don't give multiple asks at once, ladies. If you're texting him, if he's at work and you're texting an ask, one ask. That's it. One ask. If you do like three, there's a strong chance it's not going to happen, okay? So by asking directly, you empower your husband to meet your needs and deepen your connection. Now, a clarity ask is also, you're totally okay. You are totally okay if they say no. I know this one's tough, but you got to be okay if they say no. And the paradox is the more okay you are that they can say no, they actually start saying yes more. It's really weird. But when they feel the pressure that they've got to say yes and that you're leading them by a leash, that won't work. Okay. So do not hint or explain why you want something done. That's just wasting your time. Just experiment with this. You guys don't have to believe me. And trust me, if I were teaching myself 4 years ago, I'd be really angry at you right now and I wouldn't listen. So that's okay. Just experiment with this. We give these long diatribes about why we need the kids this done or that done. Stop doing that. Just say, would you be able to do this? Sometimes I give options. Like, so if I really need it done, I'll give options. Would you like to pick up this kid here, or would you like to take that kid there? Right? We're divided. Don't point out past mistakes that they have made. Okay. Don't remind them all the times they've forgotten to finish something. Don't criticize or condemn them. Don't put down, don't complain or pout. We're going to, after we finish this recording, we'll talk more about that. Do not talk to them like they are less than you. Don't talk to them like a child, and don't use the C words. Timing. I try and teach my daughter this. Our third daughter has my husband wrapped around her finger. She can get anything she wants, but her timing, especially she's 16, and so everything's so important to her. And I said, honey, when dad walks in the door, you don't throw asks at him right away or complaints. No man likes that. And she's just, so excited to ask for what she wants. But a well-timed request respects a man's emotional space. When a man gets stressed, ladies, any man, they go to a cave. It's either inside of them, so they get quiet, or they physically remove themselves from the house, or they have a little office or man cave. But you can tell when he's retreated. You can tell when he's not present. He's in his cave, he's problem solving. That is not when to have an ask. That is not when we ask. I used to follow my husband into his little cave. He literally had a little man room. And I would just start peltering him with everything that's wrong and all of my asks, and would just get so upset that he didn't listen to him. When they are receptive, right, and not distance, is when you give the asks. Timing your ask is really an act of love. Think about it. It's like when you're doing a ton of things and your kid walks up to you and needs you to do something, and both of your hands are busy and you're like, hello, right? It's the same thing for them. They're solving a lot of things. And so when you come to them with more stuff, it's not honoring where they are. And when you can register where he is and where you are, you can create these amazing moments where you both are feeling heard and you both feel valued, which is, who doesn't want that, right? For desire asks, I'd love to go on a date this weekend. Are you okay if you don't go on a date? Yeah, you got to be okay if you don't go on a date, because men are competitive. And if it's an ultimatum and they feel that they have to, it doesn't usually work out. So you choose a calm moment when desire asks. For simple everyday tasks, I wait until he's not distracted and we're talking about something, or he's looking at me. Would you help with the groceries after work? Something like that. You stop checking in when he's in his cave. He'll start right now. So many of us in our relationships have patterns where most of our energy is just managing the other person in the relationship. We're not creating, we're not helping those around us. We're just nitpicking at each other because that's comfortable. Stop checking in with your husband. He's an adult. Just stop. He'll start to feel that you're not going to come in and bother him when he's in his cave, whether that's physical or emotional, and he'll start to be open and more relaxed to your asks. He doesn't have to be on guard anymore or worried about defending himself against you. He'll be a lot more open. Show appreciation and genuine acknowledgement. So this is the key last piece. So you got to start telling him thank you for stuff. Thank you for stuff that you think does not deserve a thank you. You're like, well, of course they would go to work. Of course they would do this. Just thank them. Thank them. Thank them. Genuine acknowledgement and appreciation. Your gratitude literally ignites their desire to show up for you. Literally. I'm seeing the typo. Oh, no. How do you spell efforts? I can't even remember. Okay. All right. After a desire is fulfilled, make sure that you say thank you. Thank you for making tonight so special. I feel so loved. When they do the simple everyday ask, say, I really appreciate it. You taking care of that. That means a lot. All right. Um, and this is one of the most important ones is your own self-care. So when we're drowning and we put so much pressure on our spouse to fix us or make us feel better, or we kind of set up these goals, these games, right? We set up these games that, like, and you don't realize you're doing this, but subconsciously you set up this game that if I ask him to do something and he does it, that means he loves me, or it means I'm worth something. You put all of the onus and responsibility on who you are and your value on someone else. And that's not fair. And they're rational, and if you've been down and out for a long time and they realize that is a bucket with holes in it, and if I pour into it, I'm not getting any return on that investment, they stop pouring in. That's just how it works. I don't know how to tell you in any other way. That's just how it works. Hold on. So,